Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Mukesh English. Friends, in this video we are going to analyze an important essay, Confession of a Book Reviewer by the famous English novelist George Orwell. Friends, if you have reviewed any book or any movie, then you know the pain of reviewing any of the movie or the book. So in this essay we'll analyze here how the life of a book reviewer is very painful, and a kind of we can say a kind of criticism he has to face once he reviews any book. So as far as the introduction is concerned here, this essay, Confessions of a Book Reviewer, is a very humorous and very cynical exploration of the struggles faced by any professional book reviewers. How the professional book reviewers, they face a lot of struggles, a lot of challenges in the course of reviewing any of the book or any movie. But here we are talking about the book review, not the movie. Through a satirical portrayal of a reviewer's daily life, George Orwell is going to expose the pressures, monotony, and the moral compromises which are involved in the book review job. So his essay critiques the book review industry. His essay questions the value of short, uninspired reviews, and also suggests that many books do not deserve, they don't require the reviews at all. In spite of that, they are being reviewed. So the very first point we are going to discuss here in this chapter, in this essay, Confessions of a Book Reviewer, that what is the life of a book reviewer? How does he look like, right? So George Orwell begins his essay by portraying a very miserable and very exaggerated picture of a book reviewer's life. He describes the book reviewer something like this: a person, book reviewer is a person who is sitting in a very cluttered, cold, stuffy room. A book reviewer is surrounded by cigarette butts, half empty teacups, the piles of paper, and very much exhausted to clean and overwhelmed by unanswered letters and unpaid bills, possibly losing a check among the mess. But he's also discouraged to look for it. So, this is the life of a book reviewer according to George Orwell. So the reviewer looks only 35 years old. I'm sorry, the reviewer is only 35 years old. But if you look at his physical appearance and the way he works, it looks like he has become 50 years old. His health is in a very poor condition. He suffers from malnutrition, unless he has had a stroke of luck, in which case he is a hungover. He's bald and he has varicose veins. He wears spectacles, or maybe if he had not lost them, and if he has, then he wears the spectacles. So that's the life of the book reviewer. And despite being scheduled to start his work at 9:30, it's only 11:30 a.m. and still he has not started his work, because the reason is what? He is constantly interrupted by ringing telephones, the baby crying, the construction noises outside, creditors knocking at his door. So these are the interruptions a book reviewer generally faces at home or wherever he works. Then there's another interruption we find here. Suddenly, a post arrives at home bringing the two circulars like junk mail, or maybe a red ink income tax demand. That's also going to interrupt his work. So this opening of this passage, the opening of this essay shows a very bleak and very comical image of a book reviewer's life. So, what kind of life is filled of? His life is full of stress, distractions, desperations. So, that is the life of a book reviewer according to this essay. Second point in this book, I mean to say, in this particular essay, The Confessions of a Book Reviewer, we find here the books he has to review. So what are the kinds, which are the kinds of the books, which are the titles of the book he is going to review or he has to review? The reviewer receives a parcel which consists 5 books from his editor, and a note is written here. What is written on the note? Ought to go well together. So which are the books are here? The books are here. There's a series of books. 5 books are here. Number one, Palestine at the Crossroads, which is a political or historical book. Second book, Scientific Dairy Farming, which is a technical or scientific book. A Short History of European Democracy, page 680 page book, which cost about £4. Tribal customs in Portuguese East Africa. It may be in anthropology or sociology. And the fifth book is here. It's Nicer Lying Down, which may be a novel and maybe sent by mistake. So these are the 5 books a reviewer has to review, which he has received from the editor, and on the top of the parcel the note is written here, ought to go well together, means to say all the 5 books to be reviewed. Now for 48 hours the reviewer is too overwhelmed even open the package. He's not opening. When he finally opens it, he dreads reading them, right? He feels something like this. What he realizes that 3 of the books cover topics he knows nothing about it. That means he has to skim at least 50 pages to avoid making factual errors. That means to say, out of 5 books, he has no idea about the 3 books. He has never gone through, he's not familiar with the topics. So when he reads the first 50 pages, then he will come to know what is this book about, right? So he is getting so much frustrated for the first 48 hours. Second is here, the books bore him and the very smell of the paper disgusts him. So he compares the smell of the paper to the cold ground rice pudding flavored with castor oil. So you should experience it, then only you will come to know. So this is his experience when he receives the parcel, and he procrastinates all day, and still he cannot bring himself to read them. Still he has not started reading the books. Then the next topic, I mean to say that the next sub theme, the last minute writing process. So sometimes when a person is overloaded, now he can't stop, now he has to begin. And again, most of the review work is done always at the last minute. So at 9 p.m., sheer panic finally forces him to start skimming through the books. He start going through the pages, right? And his process is, what's the process? Number one, skipping the large sections of the book. He's not going through the detailed one. Number two, judging the books with a final dismissive thought. What's the thought? God, what a tribe. Reading just enough to avoid major mistakes. He's just reading, not for the pleasure, just to avoid the major mistakes. So this is the his last minute, and the very next morning, what does he do? The next morning, he's blear-eyed, unshaven guy, bad-tempered because he has been going through and he's staring at a blank sheet of paper for so many hours. He's watching the clock until until the panic forces him to write. Still has he has not started to write. He's still going through, and he's still, his facial expression, his body language shows that he has not yet started. So that means to say it's not willingly job, right? In the beginning it seems, then suddenly the words starts flowing mechanically. So cliches come to him automatically. So few phrases starts emerging in his mind, like a book that no one should miss, something memorable on every page, of special value are the chapters dealing with. So these are the remarks which appears in his mind. The moment he starts his work, he finishes exactly on time with 3 minutes to spare. So that means to say, if he starts work with the concentration, he'll just start gelling with the particular note, and he'll start getting immersed in those thought process. So he has completed his work on time even before 3 minutes. Before he has time to recover, another pile of books arrives, starting the cycle all over again. So just now he has finished 5 books. Again, he receives a number of books from the editor, and again the same process begins. You just imagine what kind of condition is here for this person. That's why we say confessions of a book reviewer, confessions of the life of book reviewer. So the harsh reality, what's the harsh reality of book reviewing? So George Orwell argues that professional book reviewing is an exhausting and dishonest job. Right? How? Because it requires inventing the fake enthusiasm for the books. The reviewer has no interest in it, right? Unwillingly, he does the work. And most book reviews are misleading, either overpraising or giving an inaccurate summary. Third point, only a small fraction of books, maybe 50 to 100 per year, are genuinely written. If you go through so many book reviews, you will find hardly a very less number of the book review could be the genuine review. Even the best reviewers get to choose only a few books they care about. So most of the time, reviewers they force themselves to pretend to care about books just to earn a living. So all George Orwell compares such kind of book review to pouring one's immortal spirit down the drain half a pint at a time. It's something like you're just putting your willingness into the drain, and you're not applying your full pleasure, or maybe your full commitment, we can say, just for the namesake, naam ke vaste. Because it's even my personal experience also says that reviewing any book is not an easy task. It's a very daunting task, right? It requires a lot of passion, and for pleasure you can do, but if it becomes a profession, I'm sorry to say, it's really, really, really very hectic job, right? So we are talking about book review as a profession here. Now the decline of book reviewing standards day by day. Overall, I'm sorry, George Orwell, he says that book reviews have always been dishonest. He says that no one has honestly done the book review, especially the professional book reviewer. Because before World War II, publishers they pressured the editors to publish positive reviews of all their books. See here, the impositions, right? After the war, reviews got shorter and shallower due to the lack of space in the newspaper. During the World War II, they were forced give the positive reviews. After the World War, there's no much space to write about the reviews. So the reviews content has come down, has become more brief, more precise rather than elaborate. So some critics argue that experts should review the specialized books, while novels should be reviewed by ordinary readers who have genuine opinions. Very interesting statement. Experts, they should review the specialized books, the core subject, something like this. The novels, the fictions should be reviewed only by the ordinary readers who have very honest opinions. However, the writer believes this idea is very impractical. He says that no, this idea is not acceptable. So the newspapers starts hiring the same tired hacks, same tired professional reviewers, and those professional reviewers they are getting jobs by the newspaper, and the continuously what happens, there's a radical solution. What's the radical solution by the author? Stop reviewing most books. There's only one solution to such problem. Don't review many of the books. So George Orwell has brought a very simple solution to as a very simple solution for this important issue. Number one, ignore most books entirely. He says, ignore most of the books entirely. Only write long, detailed reviews, which are about 1000 plus words for the books that truly matter. Be selective. Use the short summaries, 1 or 2 lines for less important books. Abolish the standard 600 word review as it is pointless and misleading, especially for the newspapers. Maybe in 600 words the review is given. He says, stop it. It has no meaning. It's misleading. So, following those 5 suggestions, he says that these are the 5 solutions are here which can help to bring up very honest book review. Otherwise, such book review will be considered as the dishonest only. So this is a radical solution by George Orwell regarding the book review. Then now he compares the reviewing of books and the film critics. So in the final part of the essay, George Orwell compares the book reviewers to the film critics. Right? How does he compare the book review work to the film critics? Book reviewers are slightly better off than the film critics. He says that they are far better than the film critics. Why? All right. Film critics must attend morning screenings and cannot even do their work from home. Right? But reviewers, they can work their home. So which is better? Book review is far better. They need not go anywhere, right? Anywhere, anytime. And they're expected to give the positive reviews in exchange for cheap alcohol, right? Who are these the film critics? They have to, by force, they have to give the positive reviews because they get some sort of party, etc., or some sort of corporate gifts. So in such case, he says that book review is far better than the film critics, far better than the film review. So despite hating book reviews, George Orwell suggests that book reviewers at least have someone to look down on film critics. So book review is far better than the film critics' jobs according to George Orwell. So finally, there's a conclusion here. What's the conclusion? The cynicism of a professional book reviewer, and George Orwell's final message is that book reviewing is a soul destroying profession. Look at the very critical comment. He says it is a soul destroying profession. Why? Because this profession turns passionate readers into a mechanical writers who produce insincere, repetitive reviews. Second reason, most books are bad and most reviews are dishonest. The public wants book reviews, but they do not want the truth. See the difference here. What does the public want? What do the public want? Public wants book reviews, but they don't want the truth. The entire system is flawed, and there is no easy way to fix such kind of gaps here, right? So this is the conclusion of this entire essay. So finally, we can sum up the essay saying that George Orwell satirizes the drudgery and the dishonesty of book reviewing profession. He argues that most books are not worth reviewing. He believes that I'm sorry, book reviewing should be restructured, focusing only on the most important books, not all the books. And he also pities the reviewers while mocking their miserable lifestyle, which we have seen in the very beginning, the life of a reviewer. So in this manner, this essay serves both as a humorous critique of literary journalism and a serious warning about the decline of meaningful literary criticism in the form of the book review. So, friends, this is how I have tried to analyze the important essay by George Orwell, Confessions of the Life of, or the Confessions of the Book Reviewer. If you have liked this video, click on the like button, write in the comment box, subscribe the channel, share the video. Any questions, you can reach me at mukeshenglish@gmail.com. Stay tuned with Mukesh English for more videos. Thank you so much.